the KMNN studios, this is the Kids Morning News Network. Good morning and welcome to another week. It's January 8th, 2024. 358 days left in the year. This is Alex in the KMNN newsroom. Hey, it's National Bubble Bath Day, so if you didn't take a bubble bath this morning, maybe think about one tonight. In the news this morning.
3, 2, 1.
Liftoff. Early this morning in Florida, the United States launched its first moon lander since 1972. This new one that launched this morning is called Peregrine. It lifted off about 2:15. So it actually took off yesterday if you're on the West Coast. Should land on the moon February 23rd. Now NASA has 5 experiments on board to get ready for the crewed moon missions. That's moon missions with actual astronauts on them. They're supposed to happen in the next year or two. Got delayed. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. But Peregrine, this new rocket that launched this morning or late last night on the West Coast, isn't a NASA rocket. It was actually built by a private company. And a private company, like any company, they got to make money. So for the first time ever, other companies were able to pay to have stuff brought up to the moon for them. I think there were 5 rovers that are going to drive away from the landing site, and some experiments, and some companies just sent stuff up so they could say they could. And I suppose after Peregrine lands on the moon and these things are put on the moon, we'll probably see commercials with companies that put stuff on the moon. So now that people other than NASA can send things to the moon, what would you send to the moon? Let me know what you would send. Get your grown-up to help you. Shoot me an email at kidsmorningnews@gmail.com.
The Eagle has landed.
All right, time for the riddle. Friday's riddle was one that Gollum posed to Bilbo in The Hobbit. He thought it might be the end of Bilbo because if Gollum won, he was going to eat Bilbo. And here it is. This thing all things devours. Birds, beasts, trees, flowers, gnaws iron, bites steel, grinds hard stones to meal, slays king, ruins town, and beats high mountain down. What is it? The answer, which, spoiler alert, Bilbo figured out, is time. Time does all those things. All right, today's riddle. It's kind of a space-themed show this morning, so this is a space-themed riddle. When you go out at night, I follow you around. I look very bright, but I can make the sun dark. Answer tomorrow. Today is the birthday of Dr. Stephen Hawking. He was a British scientist who studied the universe, like the whole universe. And he's especially known for his theories about black holes. You know black holes? These places in space where matter collapses into itself and gravity is so strong that even light can't escape? Yeah, those things. As a kid, Stephen Hawking liked to play board games, build models, and he loved fireworks. I like this guy already. What he didn't love, believe it or not, was school. Even he admitted that he wasn't a great student. A lot of it just seemed kind of boring to him. And since he didn't like it, he was kind of bored, he didn't study much, and then he had a hard time when he had to take his tests. But as time went along, he figured out that he did like math, and he was good at math. And when his teachers saw that, they encouraged him, and his family encouraged him, and he did make his way through college and eventually became a world-famous scientist. But along the way, actually right when he got to college, he was still pretty young, he was diagnosed with a disease called ALS. And ALS makes people become paralyzed. And that's what happened to Stephen Hawking. He couldn't move. He had to speak through a computer. He controlled this computer with a cheek. One little cheek muscle that still moved, and that picked words for him, and the computer spoke the words. But his mind remained as amazing as ever. In fact, one of his best-known sayings is, "Quiet people have the loudest minds." He also said, however bad life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Where there is life, there is hope. Dr. Hawking was a really interesting guy. He had a lot of hope. He was a pretty funny guy, too. So if you get a chance, look him up. Anyway, happy birthday, Dr. Stephen Hawking. Well, it's a good thing Peregrine blasted off safely this morning or late last night, because the weather today is going to be kind of rough, especially in the central and eastern part of the country. There's this big storm blowing in. Blizzards, rain, wind, much colder temperatures, maybe even some tornadoes. So stay safe, everyone. Listen to instructions if there's severe weather in your area. And that's it for this Monday. Go on out, have fun, take a bubble bath, look up at the stars if it's not overcast where you are. Peregrine's up there somewhere, flying to the moon, and way past there are the black holes that Dr. Hawking was studying. It's a pretty amazing world. Have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. This is Alex, signing off.